Welcome to episode 14 of the Learn podcast, where first you learn, then you drop the L, and then you earn. I'm your host, Dean the Wealth Coach. I got a lot to get off my chest today. First, I want to start off with letting you guys know about my gratitude jar. So this jar, anytime I'm grateful for something, I take a piece of paper and I stuff it in here. As you can see, it's pretty full because there's a lot of things that I'm grateful for. So the few things I want to share with you guys that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful to have made my first course sale. That was a big milestone for me. I'm grateful for my good health. Could be better, but I'm grateful that I don't have anything wrong with me. Prevention is better than cure, so I just got to continue maintaining my body. Junior, I am grateful to have you as a big cousin and brother. You have taught me so much, but now the big new lesson is always be kind to people. You never know when they will pass. This was the last note that I wrote in my grateful jar before, well, not before, but after my cousin passed away. So this was the last one I wrote. So, yeah, I'm grateful for you. Rest in peace, brother. I am grateful to me for me being me. Anything I put my mind to, I can achieve it. So I'm grateful for myself. You gotta sometimes just give yourself that acknowledgement. I am grateful that the Lord blessed me with Stacy. That's helping me. She helps me in every way, shape, and form. Stacy, thank you for helping me with everything that I do. Without you, I don't know where I would be. So that goes my grateful jar. And let's see. So put these ones in here. Yeah, so those are some that I just wanted to share with you guys. So that's from my grateful jar. So moving forward now, when you have an idea or you feel stuck, what do? Something that I do is I journal or I brain dump. I write things down. Yesterday, a lot came into my head, and if you try to remember things, you're going to eventually forget something. So I just wrote down all my thoughts and ideas yesterday just to get it out of my head. And then I will figure out where it fits within my life. Or if it doesn't fit, just eliminate it altogether. So this goes back to the time management matrix I let you guys know about, where you have the 4 quadrants where it's do, schedule, delegate, eliminate. There's another 4 Ds, but I don't remember what the 4 Ds are, but that's how I remember it. So that's something where it literally helps you with how you're planning out stuff. Like before you start to plan out your day or your week, you can use that 4 quadrants to give you an idea of what is urgent and important versus what's not urgent and important. So that was one thing that I did yesterday. I wrote about 4 pages. Yeah, 4 pages of notes. Like I just went off. Like there was so much I needed to get off my head. And it's going to be a benefit to you guys because it's a lot of things that I want to have on this podcast and be able to deliver to you guys in my newsletter, everything. So I'm kind of excited about all the notes that I took, and then I'm going to be able to pour into your cup. So a question I have for you guys is, who is prepared for a rainy day? And when I mean rainy day, just a turn of events, like something that you weren't expecting to happen, like say a job loss, say a major repair to your car, or you have to end up going to a hospital because you broke your leg, something of that nature, right? Who's prepared for those kind of days? Those things happen few and far in between, but you still need to be prepared for these things. I know I kind of mentioned this a lot because anything can happen, and we got to be proactive instead of reactive. How you do that is by just having plans in place, like asking yourself that question: what if this was to happen? It might not happen, but you still want to be prepared just in case. Have a little rainy day money, or have a plan in action that something's gonna happen, that can happen. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be like the end of the world type of what if this was to happen. Like, think you were blessed to have another child or your first child. Those are things that you have to start planning for, or just in case, because you can never know what can happen. Or you decide to have a puppy or buy a puppy. Like, these are things that you didn't expect to happen, but probably it just happened. Like, you just spontaneously seen a puppy, you're like, oh my goodness, like I want that puppy, you know? You got to prepare for these things. Like, having a puppy especially is like having another child. You got to take care of it same way you do with a regular child. Just the only difference is you guys don't communicate in the same language. We have to prepare for the worst. It doesn't matter. It's not to say you need to be a Debbie Downer or just a pessimist, but you just want to have those things in place because anything can happen. So I know I'm stressing you a lot, but anything can happen. So put the things in place that you need. Like, if you're have family members and you're a bit older or have a family, like having a will in place, having life insurance, these things are very important for when you pass away. Like, you don't want to leave a burden on your family when you pass. Have these things in place. What is your contingency plan? If all else fails, like, what can you fall back on? You want to make sure you have a plan of action. Even if you don't, if it never gets used, just the sake of having it there, it gives you a peace of mind. You can sleep better at night knowing that, all right, I set up for this just in case. It doesn't hurt to have these plans. You just create it once, having that action plan there. So if it does hit, okay, I got my notes. I can look to this, follow these steps, and I'll be fine. You have a peace of mind. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and it was business related, just talking about growing your business and just how to navigate with scaling. And one thing that came to mind was treating your business like it's already worth it's already worth $1 million. Think of you being a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. And the example that I brought up to the person was, imagine yourself being McDonald's and creating commercials. You don't just show your commercial once. You show it as many times as you can. You want everybody to see it and to remember your brand. So you put endless amounts of money into marketing and advertising so people can see your brand. That's the same way you need to be treating your business. You don't have to do it on the scale of a multi-billion-dollar company, but you work your way up to that. And you just put in a little to see what the output is. It's like trial and error. Just test it out. I once heard somebody say Facebook marketplace, or not marketplace, Facebook ads is like the digital version of billboards, where you pay a fraction of the cost. You only paying you can pay as low as like $3 or even $5 just to get more people to see your business. So treat yourself like a multi-billion-dollar company and just put your information out there, put your advertisement out there so people can see.
Is your credit score trash? Are you tired of collection agencies calling you? Are you tired of being denied bank loans and credit cards? Well, then you're in luck. I have created an ebook that will help you repair, maintain, and leverage your credit. Don't even consider filing bankruptcy before reading this book. If you struggle with fixing your credit, then this book is for you. If you struggle with increasing your credit score, then this book is for you. If you are unsure on how to leverage your credit, then this book is definitely for you. Click the link in the bio and get the credit guide today.
Going through that conversation that we're having, there was a quote that I heard, or not that I heard, that I mentioned to them was, great artists don't copy, they steal. Now you're maybe saying steal, like what? Like, no, I don't mean like copyright steal or take somebody's patent, trademark, whatever it may be. But if it goes back to like that saying, don't reinvent the wheel. It to me, they're similar. They're just different ways of saying it and how you interpret it. So if you, let's just use Apple computers. or laptops. You come up with an idea to create a laptop that's similar to Apple. You just have to make sure you're not using anything that they have licensed that you want to use, because then they can turn around and sue you. But if they have a working formula, like, hey, let's make it fast, user friendly. Okay, I don't like XYZ about the MacBook. Let me make my own version of the MacBook. So that's what I mean in terms of like of stealing what they have. Like, take what's good and then add your flavor to it to make to get yourself out there. So that's what they say, great artists don't copy, they steal. Music does it all the time, where well, they sample, but it's pretty much a form of taking somebody else's thing, even though they ask permission. But they weren't the original artist of the song. They took it from somebody else and did their version of it. So they took something that was a hit before and said, hey, let me make it a hit again. Same concept. So if you're somebody that's like creating content, or you have a product or a service, see what others are doing that's working and see how you can make it your own. And I forgot to mention this the other day, but I was on YouTube on one of like the community posts, and one of these YouTubers posted from his newsletter that he is trying to post content every day. I don't remember exactly around what, and he mentioned it's hard, and he's just gonna it's hard to push through, but he's committed to it, and he's going to stick with it, no matter how it turns out. That just gave me a sense of, I guess, relief to say, because there's somebody else trying to do a consistent day-to-day activity. It's very challenging, but he's committed to it, and it just made me feel good that somebody else, or somebody that is like way more successful than I am, is struggling as well to be consistent with doing something daily. So if there's something that you want to do and you really want to do it, just commit to it. Just write down a plan and just go for it. With that being said, when setting up a goal, work backwards, and work backwards in the sense of, here's the goal, what are the steps I need to take before achieving that goal, and just work your way down. As I was doing the brain dump, what came to mind was, I started off with a big idea, and gradually I kept asking myself, okay, so what do I do to get to that step? And there was always a step before. So the more you can break it down into just like the first action that you need to do, that's literally you working backwards, where it starts off at the top, but it gets bigger and bigger as what you, not to say it gets bigger and bigger, but it gets down to the final nitty gritty as to what you need to do. Where now, if you take all that information, flip it upside down, it's like, all right, here's the goal, here's the actions I need to take, da 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 da, and it pretty much becomes a pyramid. Also, reflect on your task. Like, always go back to what it is that you started doing, like setting up SMART goals. You figure out a measuring system that you're going to use to track your progress. I was reviewing my 12-week year planner for the first quarter, and I fell off track, but that's fine. I reflected to see where I fell off and what I could change. So I decided to create a new planner where I just focus on one activity, and the one activity is something that coincides with my long-term vision. The first 12-week year planner that I created, or I started doing, the goal that I had wasn't aligning with my long-term vision. It's like the shiny object came and I jumped at it at the time, and it took away from what it is that I wanted to do. So now I'm back on track. I created a new 12-week planner, but just for one goal. And this is something that I'm going to share with you guys. So if you guys are watching this episode, if you click the link below, you can get access to this 12-week planner. just to focus on one thing. If you can focus on one thing for 12 weeks, it will just do wonders for you. Like, we have 4 quarters in a year. Right now we're coming up to Q2, and you can use this to achieve a goal, whatever goal it is that you want. If it's too big of a goal, you can break that goal down into 4 sections and then have 12-week years for that. The 12-week year planner allows you to have 4 years in 1 year, where most people only have, or the majority of us look at the world as 1 year is 1 year. But no, you can break it down into 4 quarters, which will give you 4 years ahead of whatever it is that you want to do. So this planner, I'm really proud of myself for creating this. I said, I'm going to commit to creating this. I created it. Now I'm just going to put it into print form for myself and just have this to just document my 12-week year journey with my YouTube channel. So that was one thing that I said, I'm going to have 10,000 subscribers within the 12-week year. So I have 12 weeks to get 10,000 subscribers. That's a cue for you to subscribe to the channel and help me get to 10,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this episode, good on you. You will be getting access to this 12-week planner by just clicking the link down below. That wraps up today's episode. I hope you found some value. If you found any gems, leave it in a comment. But don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow for episode 15.